Oh yeah?
It's good.
It's good?
It's good.
All right.
Excuse me, sir, what are you doing?
I'm trying to back this thing in. That's what I'm doing. I am the captain of this boat.
Are you sure?
I am the captain of this boat.
Precision driving.
Look at that.
Say his past life was a professional valet.
I am the captain of this yacht. And this is my partner. What's up guys, welcome back to another video. It is your boy Zay. Today we have a very special video planned for you guys. We are finally adding the front suspension to the Lexus LS400 build. What we're gonna be doing today is adding and adjusting a few things. First thing we're gonna do is go ahead and swap out these spindles. I do have shortened and angled spindles we're gonna be adding. We're gonna be adding adjustable top hats for the clearance to the struts. We're gonna be doing upper and lower ball joints to see if we can get the wheels finally fitted on the Lexus. I hope you guys do enjoy today's video. And also thank you for Julian for coming out today. Let's get today started. Yelling at everyone.
You suck. You guys work for me.
It's only just you. Just losing his mind. Hey, what do you got going on here, guy?
We're trying to remove this clamp, which basically retains the ball joint in this socket. So, but these guys look pretty rusty, so it's getting a little tough.
All right, guys, while Juli's working on that, like I said, we're gonna be replacing the front upper ball joints on the front upper control arm. As you can see, this is blown, so we're gonna be fixing that. Huge shout out to Serial 9 for making today's video possible. As you guys can see, here's the replacement upper ball joint. Here is the shortened and angled spindles that we will be adding, the adjustable top hats, and of course, extended studs to get the GMRs fitted in the front. I'm super excited. I hope everything goes well today and we get these to be able to be fitted. Hi, welcome to the vlog. First thing we're doing for the Lexus suspension is adding extended studs to the shortened and angled spindles, but right now we're trying to figure out how we can go ahead and hammer those out. So we do have 22 gauge metal right here that we're trying to put against the stud to hit it out. And let's go ahead and give it a try. See what you got there, big guy. I don't think this is gonna. Let me see that.
Nice.
Nice! All right, that's back to the drawing board.
Pretty cracked at this now. I'm gonna slowly just have a job where I break studs loose and shit. That's all I'm gonna do.
There you go. Let me try.
Okay.
Let me try.
Okay.
Did you know what?
Huh? No, I just did a little bit.
It's easier when it's like over here though, for some reason. Really? Swing.
This is moving.
So sorry.
All right, guys, while Juli refuels his energy with some Chipotle, all jokes aside, the serious way to do it, or the easiest way to do it, to replace your OEM studs with extended studs, as you guys can see, the drastic difference between OEM and extended, is when you have your spindle off and you're on your hub right here, you go ahead and get either a nut or your lug nut, just add it in, get a couple threads in, and then go ahead and get your hammer, hit it through, and you should be able to knock your OEM studs out. Now that we did that on both ends of the spindles, we can go ahead and add the new studs to the hubs. All right, guys, to continue the process of adding extended studs to your hub, what I did was I got the extended stud, and then I have washers holding it with the lug nut connected. What I'm gonna do is go grab the impact, and I'm gonna pull the extended stud through, just like I did here. I'm gonna do that for both shortened spindles. All right guys, the first 55mm extended studs are on. As you guys can see, what we did was we just propped them through the hub, put a set of washers, the lug nut, and pulled them all through, and they are on. Like I said before, as you guys can see the difference, the 55mm are drastically bigger, which is gonna help us put the wheels on. So now that the first 5 is done, we can go ahead and continue with the other side.
Yeah.
What are you doing there, guys? I said what are you doing? Okay, let's go with you. Yeah, nice. You were supposed to take out the seat clip?
So we got the wheel on, but no one really cares about that. But this shit is sick. Shoo!
Yeah, this is close. What's up guys, it is the next day. So as you guys saw yesterday, I had the homie Julian come down and help me out to start the process of the front suspension of the Lexus LS400 build. And huge shout out to Julian. Julian is an amazing friend of mine. Without him and a couple of these other guys, this process and the stuff I'm doing wouldn't be as fun as it is. So as you guys saw yesterday, we were prepping parts and we started installing stuff on the passenger side. As you guys can see, that front passenger wheel is looking amazing. So with that being said, I really want to get into depth of what we did and what worked for us of the process of the front suspension. So that's what we're going to go ahead and do today. So let's go ahead and get started. But before we start the second half of the video, can we just admire this? Let's not look at the body line, that or the paint or that or anything else. Let's just look at the wheel. As you guys can see, oh, that is beautiful. Unfortunately, I cannot lift it much higher because the bottom of the strut is not bolted into the knuckle, so I really can't raise it up right now, but that looks so good. Let's go ahead and show you what parts we use to start this process. All right guys, so here is a look at all the parts we used yesterday to start fitting those wheels on that car. Moving from right to left, right here we do have a driver's side brand new lower ball joint. I decided to replace the lower ball joints because I could feel that both of those were blown. Anytime I was driving the car, I could feel recoil and movement. So I was like, you know what, while we're in there, we can go ahead and replace those. Moving over here, we do have the 30mm angled and shortened spindles with the brand new 55mm extended studs. I just wanted to go ahead and get the wheels sit on the car perfectly. That's why we decided to extend those. Over here we have the beautiful 09 Serial 9 upper control arms with, as you guys saw yesterday, the brand new upper ball joint that we replaced. This should be able to give us anywhere from -4 to -8 degrees of camber. And last but not least, this. Huge shout out to the homie Casey. Casey over at Get Fitted Garage was able to send us a brand new adjustable top hat that is gonna go ahead and go on the front airlift performance struts. What this is gonna do is go ahead and give us clearance from the spindle to the bag. And to get that installed, we bought 4 pedal ball spacers. So as soon as you take the top hat off the strut, you can go ahead and put the pedal ball spacer on top of the strut. Then you put the adjustable top hat, put that on top, tighten it back up and put the dampener, and then everything you have gets to fit those wheels on that car. All right guys, now that you have a brief description of what parts we are using and what they do to the car, we can go ahead and start today's installation. The first thing we're gonna go ahead and do is remove the brake caliper and rotor. So let's go ahead and get that done. All right, as you guys saw, that was fairly simple. The first thing I did was remove these two 17mm bolts that was holding on the brake caliper. Right now I do have the brake caliper on a jack stand, so I don't add so much stress to that line. The next thing I did was remove the rotor. So now what we're gonna do to remove the spindle is being held on top of the front upper control arm right there next to this castle nut. As soon as I take that castle nut off, the spindle will go ahead and be held by two 17mm bolts that are connected to the knuckle down here. I do recommend taking the castle nut off and then these two bolts, so instead of doing it vice versa where it'll fall on you, you can go ahead and lift it and then slightly pull it out. So that's the next thing we're gonna do. Today's special guest, PB plaster, for all your eroded, cross-threaded, righty-tighty, lefty-loosey needs. Now back to our paid programming. All right guys, so huge shout out to Mike for lending me a hand. We went ahead and sprayed some PB blaster on the two bottom 17mm bolts that connected to the knuckle, and we went ahead and used a jack handle for extra leverage. After I got those out, I went ahead and used a ball joint puller for the top bolt that is connected to the front upper control arm right here. As soon as I did that, that popped, and then as you guys can see, the spindle is out. So now that this spindle is out, the last thing we need to do is go ahead and come over here and take out the front strut. As soon as we get that out, we get the upper control arm out, and we're on the way. So let's go ahead and do that now. Actually, before we go on to the strut and the front upper control arm, while we're down here, we're gonna go ahead and replace this lower ball joint. Like I said earlier, I could feel that they were blown. So to test that theory, as you can see, you should not have this much wiggle and play with your lower ball joint. So we're gonna go ahead and replace that right now. The way you're gonna do it, you have two 17mm castle nuts, and they also have a cotter pin here and here. So once you remove the cotter pins, go ahead and take off those two nuts, and then the lower ball joint should come right out. So let's go ahead and swap that out with the brand new one. So this cotter pin right here is fairly easy. It's latched to one of the ledges of the castle nut. As soon as you pull it, it comes right out. And then moving with the other cotter pin, this one was folded over. Once you fold it straight, you should be able to pull this one out. Then you go ahead and take off those nuts, and it should pop right out. All right, now that this lower ball joint is out, let's go ahead and give you guys a side-by-side comparison of OEM since 1995 versus the new latest and greatest. This is just disgusting. Look at this. That is quite a bit years of wear and tear compared to the stiffest, not moving lower ball joint this is. So let's go ahead and put the brand new one in. All right guys, now that this new lower ball joint is in, as you can see, this is what we want. The stiffness, not moving, both dust covers are looking really good. Now we can start taking out the bottom of the strut from the knuckle, so we can go ahead and take the bag strut out and start working on the new adjustable top hat. All right guys, so before we go any farther in today's video, I just want to say, if you guys haven't already, make sure to follow the company at Limitless & Company. I will leave the Instagram right here. It is my automotive-based clothing brand. I do open the store every first of the month, and then after the first week, second week, I process and ship out orders. So if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and follow Limitless & Company for all your automotive merch and needs. All right guys, so now that you saw the OEM upper control arm is out, I can go ahead and put the Serial 9 upper control arm in, and then go ahead and put the strut in with the Get Fitted Garage adjustable top hat, and we can go ahead and put everything back together. So let's go ahead and do that. All right guys, so looking at the adjustable top hat here, it's gonna sit exactly in the car like this. We're gonna want these two in the center of the car. As you guys can see, it is maxed out. Even with Allen keys, it's not gonna go anymore. I know when you're a crazy static guy and you want to reach maximum clearance, some of the guys go ahead and slot these to be extended more. I think in this situation, we're not gonna need that. So we're gonna go ahead and get the strut, the pillow ball spacer. Remember, so it's gonna sit in the car like this right now. It's not tightened, so I'm not really worried about it. Then you're gonna go ahead and get the other pillow ball spacer, put that in there, and then the top locking nut. Once you do that, it will look something like this. And it's gonna sit in the car like this. As you guys can see, it's maxed out, and we'll have that clearance where the spindle will be on this right side, and there won't be any issues, hopefully, whatsoever. All right, guys, so the suspension on the driver's side is fully in. The only thing I really need to do right now is go ahead and reattach the caliper and of course the brake sensor line, and that is it. So I'm gonna go ahead and give you guys a rundown of what we did, and then we can go ahead and put the new wheel on to see how it looks. All right, guys, so this fitment is not the best, okay? I did preventative measure when I said let's max out the front upper control arm because I was scared it wasn't gonna clear. Well, it cleared. Let's look at this right here. As you guys can see, look at how much that is sunken in. So let's not forget, we can go ahead and pull this wheel back out because the front upper control arms are adjustable, but look at that, that looks so good. So the main plan is what I want to do is go ahead and get this camber matched up with the body lines of the car. That's how I wanted to sit, and later on we can go ahead and make a video of us adjusting the camber, but the front suspension is finally installed. With that being said, I feel like we reached a huge milestone in this video with test fitting the wheels and finally installing all the front suspension on the Lexus. Later on down the road, if I need to pull more stuff out, I can go ahead and also install extended lower control arms and extended tie rod ends, but if we need to get there, we will get there eventually. I hope you guys did like this series where we had fun with it and also got down to some information for you guys, and I hope you guys did enjoy today's video. If you did, go ahead and leave a like and leave a comment down below. I'd appreciate it. If you guys haven't already, make sure to follow the brand, Limitless & Company, and also follow me on all social media platforms that will be listed down below. Thank you guys for watching, and as per usual, no matter how far you're in life, to always remain humble and always try to make a difference. Deuce!